welcome back to Endless Winter, and in our last installment, part 1, what we saw was the Frost King. He came out of isolation with all his ice monsters. He's attacking the world with this Endless Winter, and the Justice League have to stop him. Now, Black Adam knows a thing or two about the Frost King, because in the 10th century, Black Adam, Hippolyta, Viking Prince, and Swamp Thing fought off against the Frost King. Now, we don't know that history yet. We'll find it out as the story progresses, and we'll see how the Justice League deal with this villain named the Frost King. Now, guys, if you're ready, let's dive into Flash, number 767. We open the Arctic Circle in Greenland in the 10th century. The Viking Prince and Hippolyta, they walk in this bar. Everyone's shocked. They lead them to this table where Black Adam is. He is just chewing on a chicken leg. He bites off it and says, "What are you doing here?" And that's when Viking Prince says, "You asked for meat." Hippolyta says, Black Adam says, "It's about time you showed up. I've been doing my best to amuse myself in this frozen wasteland." "Give me that, Viking Prince. Where's the vegetable?" Now, Viking Prince says, "He'll be here." He dumps his drink on the table. Black Adam gets up. "Rein in the web, Hippolyta. I joined you, allowed you to drag me to this forsaken place. But I warn you, Viking Prince, tread carefully." Now it's when we see Swamp Thing. He comes between the both of them. He says, "You two will have someone else to fight it soon enough. Stop your squabbling. We must act in league and be the warriors the world needs to face the dire winter that's been unleashed." Now Viking Prince says, "Jorah's champion speaks truly. The fate of the world hangs upon what we do. We're intended to protect these people, not turn them into servants." Now, Black Adam says, "It's Jorah now? When you freed me from my tomb, he told me it was an incarnation of Jeb, the Earth God." Now, Hippolyta puts her hand on Black Adam's shoulder and says, "Jeb or Jorah or Yay, it matters little. The spirit of the very planets summons us to confront this threat, lest all that lives be wiped away in the storm." Now, Swamp Thing says, "We have no time to argue. The Parliament of Trees weakens, losing connection to the lands blighted by this endless blizzard. I fear we may already be too late." We see snow come in, and we see the Frost King. He's outside. He says, "Winter will have its vengeance." He attacks the earth. This is in the 10th century, but let's go to present day. We see present day. Flash has the comms of all the Justice League. He's running around the world, and he sees that hypothermia is pretty much going to a max. All these people are dying. It's getting frozen around the world, and Flash is getting slower. He says, "Is everybody picking me up? I'm not sure how long the comlinks are going to function in these conditions." Now, that's when Metropolis. Superman is fighting off against these ice monsters with black lightning. Superman says, "You're coming in, Barry, but we're all a little preoccupied." Black Lightning says, "They just keep coming." He blasts the ice monster. You got crackle. Now, Wonder Woman fights off against this ice monster in Africa. We see in Washington, D.C., Jon Stewart attacks this ice monster and tries to protect the White House. We see Batman in Gotham. He tries to use his batarang to take out this ice monster. Yeah, boom! Now in Amnesty Bay, Aquaman is nowhere to be found. Now we see Flash. He helps out the other Superman, the new Superman in China. They fight off against ice monsters. But then we shift to New York City, the United Nations General Assembly. Black Adam shows up to all these senators and all these politicians. He tells them that this is his home. This whole place, Cagdag, is his home, and he's protecting it. He's allowing refugees who can't survive to come there. But he tells all these politicians, make sure the Justice League defend this place. Take down these ice monsters. If they do not deal with the threats, then I will have to. Black Adam flies off. Now we see Flash. He runs through the snow even more. He says, "Never thought I'd see the Arabian desert like this. But I guess we're all seeing things we never thought we'd see." "John, you sure I shouldn't go see if I can find out what happened to Arthur?" And Jon Stewart says, He's a big boy, and his wife's more formidable than most of us. So Aquaman is missing, guys. But he has Mera and he can deal with himself. We'll find out what happened to Aquaman in a future chapter. Now, Flash continues to run, and Jon Stewart says, better you pay Black Adam a friendly visit after his stunt at the UN. Placate him however you need to, but we can't have him causing a problem in the middle of all this. Flash says, will do. Feels like I'm on fumes, but I'll get done. Just so run down. No pun intended. Now, John says, we're all feeling it, Barry. Everyone's exhausted. Now, Barry says, yeah, well, I'm the one who's not supposed to get tired. My molecules are slowing down from the extreme cold. I have to keep vibrating, or it's like I'm in quicksand. This isn't like facing Captain Cold, or that goofball icicle we just dealt with. This cold is brutal. Coming up on the Capitol now. I should check in on Iris before I get there. Take care of yourself, John. I'll be in touch. Now, Jon Stewart says, you too, brother. Now you see Flash, he chooses to run, and he calls Iris. Iris, hello? You there? Iris says, I'm here, Barry, but I can barely hear you. Oh, where are... And then her signal cuts out. Barry says, you still there, love? I'm in Condog. Kind of a diplomatic and or a babysitting mission. Take your pick. Now, he can't find Iris. He says, Iris, you okay? Did I lose you? Hello? Oh. Now he sees ice monsters. They come out of left field. They smack Barry in the face. You're a whack. Barry falls to the ground. And he starts getting hit by this ice monster. He starts getting overwhelmed. He says, summer needs to come anyway. He wants summer to come as soon as possible. Now, that's when Flash falls to the ground. But these ice monsters are taken down. You hear a scratch. Now, out of the shadows comes Black Adam and his assistants. He says, pick up him. Bring him back to the palace. We see Livewire, Bronze Tiger, and all these other villains at his side. Now we see Barry. He's in this bed. He wakes up. Iris, where are you? Won't let anything happen to you, I promise. I'll be there. He wakes up. Where am I? Nice sheets, by the way. Now, Black Adam says, welcome to my palace. Barry says, obviously, I owe you a big thank you. Assuming I didn't hallucinate the whole thing, did I catch a glimpse of Silver, Banshee, Multiplex, Catman, Icicle, Rampage, a few others? Interesting company you keep. Black Adam says, they're refugees in need of a safe haven. Condog provides that. Barry says, and how is Condog handling this? Black Adam says, you can see for yourself. The storm rages without end. My people suffer, and I cannot abide it. They hide in their homes, isolated, fearful, all because the Justice League is not capable of defeating this enemy. Now, Barry says, helped myself, that's cool, right? I'm famished. He starts eating all these grapes. Black Adam says, take what you need. Warriors are needed, like the queens and princes of old. This should be ended. What are you doing to stop it? Why don't you go to the source? Barry says, because we're trying to find this Frost King guy who's causing it. Black Adam says, you can't find him. Barry says, no, he's just somewhere in the storm. A Stag Industries crew released him from the Arctic Circle, but once we locate him, we will stop him. Look, if it's all the same to you, I need to get back to the fight, and I'm not exactly feeling connected to my usual lightning. I need to conserve what little I've got left. Black Adam says, lightning? Now there's something I know a bit about. Barry says, what's that supposed to mean? Black Adam smiles. Don't move. He shocks Barry with lightning. You're a crack-a-crack-boom. And that's when Barry gets all his lightning, all his power. And he says to him, feels like I've been topped off. Thanks. I think, Black Adam says, consider it a favor. Let it be known I'm always willing to help. Barry says, given the current circumstances, the Justice League might very well take you up on that. I need to get moving. There's someone I have to check up on. Now, Black Adam says, of course, always look after those closest to you. Barry runs off and he concludes with, we'll see you soon, Black Adam. Black Adam says, oh, I'm certain you will. Thank you for a most useful conversation. We see in Central City, Barry continues to run and look for Iris. Iris is fighting out against this ice monster. Barry runs, he screams, Iris! But he barely saves Iris, you're sick, and he gets her out of the way of this ice monster. Iris says, hey, take it easy, Mr. Superhero, I had it covered. Now, Barry goes up to Iris. He says, you're okay? I couldn't get through, I was worried. Iris says, I'm okay, especially when I can borrow one of Heatwave's guns from the Flash Museum. You okay? Barry kisses Iris and says, I am now. Love you. Iris says, love you too. Barry says, glad I have someone who's so brave and capable and strong. Now, Iris says, you forgot independence. I'm fine, Barry. I'm glad you're here, but you have a job to do, so go do it, and then come back to me. Barry runs off to go help with all the Justice League against this Frost King and all these ice monsters. He says, count on it, and runs off. Now, that's how we end Flash number 767, Endless Winter, Part 2. So that was Flash number 767, Endless Winter, Part 2. And it's written by Andy Lanning and Ron Mars. Now, the writing this issue, starting out with the flashback, which it is cool to see Black Adam, Swamp Thing, and Pulitzer, and Viking Prince all meet up at this bar. It's very entertaining, and it's a great scene. But it's not really needed because we already knew that they were going up against the Frost King. We already knew that they were going to meet together, and it doesn't really add any new story elements, right? At all. It's just a flashback that's cool, but not new at all. So, still, a decent way to open up the issue. Now, as we continue, it's just standard event material, right? We all the Justice League fight out against, like, ice monsters, some action, nothing very interesting. We see Black Adam go to the UN, we see how Black Adam's gonna get involved. And for me, that's the most interesting stuff. And that's when the issue gets better halfway through. As we see Barry and Black Adam interacting, Black Adam actually saves Barry, and Barry finds out that, like, Rampage, Icicle, and all these villains are there. It's actually a great twist, and I like how Black Adam is actually treating Barry well, and actually gives him power to